Hey guys, it's Kaz and today I have a really big book haul. So May was a really wonderful month for reading, but also book obtaining, kind of. I didn't actually buy too many books, but I did go to the Sydney Writers' Festival and I was on the panel at TeenCon, and TeenCon had goodie bags. So I got some free books. Before TeenCon, I did go to a meetup at Kinokuniya. They also went to Dimmicks afterwards, but I was meeting up with one of my other booktube friends. So thankfully I wasn't given the opportunity to go completely overboard with the buying of books before receiving a lot of the ones in the goodie bag, but I did buy a few wonderful things at Kinokuniya. The first of which was Saga Volume 4 by Brian K. Vaughan. I've already read this one, really enjoyed it. I don't know why I didn't pick this up pretty much as soon as it came out. I don't even know, honestly. It hadn't happened, but now it has, and I'm so glad, and just really need the next ones. I also picked up Secret Garden and Enchanted Forest by Joanna Basford. These are colouring in books, but more targeted towards adults because they have wonderfully intricate and complex drawings in here. I haven't yet had the opportunity to start my colouring in, but I intend to do so very, very soon. And I have both of her colouring in books, so I'm very excited. Before I go into these books I got in the goodie bag, I have a few more other books I want to show you first. I have Saint Anything by Sarah Dessen. I was sent this unsolicited by Penguin, and I haven't actually read any Sarah Dessen yet. I do have this lullaby right here. I bought that a little while ago, but I haven't had the opportunity to read it yet, and I haven't read any of her other books. I haven't actually heard really anything about this book yet, so I'm interested to see what I think of it. This is obviously a contemporary novel, and I'm not entirely sure what to make of it, just going from the synopsis alone. I think it's about Sydney. She has a brother Peyton who ends up in some sort of accident and has a jail sentence, and then she meets the Catham family, and there's Mac, who sounds like is probably the romantic interest in this one. I was also sent Finding Audrey by Sophie Kinsella, another author who I have not read any of her books of, but she's obviously pretty well known in the book world. This one was sent to me by Random House Australia. From what I can gather of this, it is about a woman named Audrey who cannot leave her house, and she doesn't even take off her sunglasses inside her own house. And then someone comes into her life who starts to kind of entice her out of her home or something like that, but this one sounds like it could be quite interesting. I also received a copy of The Winner's Curse by Marie Rukowski, and with this one I was talking to my friend Kat Kennedy, who is a Australian blogger, and she was also on the panel at TeenCon. I mentioned to her that I hadn't read this book, and she was just like, what? You need to read it. So I was like, okay. And then after TeenCon, I think it was her friend was like, I've got 3 copies of this book, would you like it? And I was like, yes, please, that would be amazing. So I have a copy of this book and I'm really excited to read it. I've heard nothing but fabulous things about this book. This is about a general's daughter named Kestrel, and she pretty much has 2 choices in life: to join the military or get married. And one day she sees a slave that's put up for auction, and for some reason she decides to buy him. And then I think she starts falling for him, but he has some sort of secret. It sounds really good. I'm excited. I'm really hoping I can get to this one soon. Hopefully really soon. I also have Magonia by Maria Davana Headley. This was the book sent in the May Owl Crate box, the theme of which was Parallel Worlds. The main character is named Aza. I'm not entirely sure if that's how you do pronounce the name, but I'm just gonna go with it. She's always had difficulty breathing, and she's been just kind of put on medication and hope for the best sort of thing. But one day she sees a ship in the sky, and she seems to be the only one that sees it. Everyone tells her it's a hallucination, but she hears someone calling her name from the ship. And then something happens and she finds herself in this world called Magonia. Sounds pretty mysterious to me. I am really excited about it. It sounds wonderful, and just cover love. And now moving on to the goodies that I got when I was at the Sydney Writers' Festival. The first book that I have here is Lifespan of Starlight by Thalia Kalkispakis. Possibly. I'm terrible with pronouncing names, obviously. This is about a group of teenagers who discover the ability to time travel, which sounds really cool. I'm not entirely sure what else this is about, but time travel is dangerous in this world, is also illegal, so it sounds like this could be quite exciting. I also have Cooper Bartholomew is Dead by Rebecca James. This is about Cooper Bartholomew, who is found dead. He's committed suicide, but his girlfriend has doubts. She doesn't believe that he did commit suicide. She thinks it might be something a little more to to the whole situation, and she starts to question things and question a lot of the people around her, her friends, enemies. She's not sure who to trust, things like that. This sounds like it could be quite interesting, mysterious, possibly intense, and from what I can tell by just flicking through it, this is written from multiple perspectives, and it kind of flicks back and forth between the present and the past before Cooper died. I also have We All Looked Up by Tommy Wallach. Basically, there is an asteroid set to hit Earth, and everyone's given pretty much 2 months, I think, until it's hit. Based off of the synopsis, it doesn't sound like things are going to be very good after it does hit, and I think this is focused on a group of people who are labelled the athlete, the outcast, the slacker, and the overachiever. So by the sounds of it, it looks like it's going to be about these guys and kind of really finding themselves or things in these last 2 months before the asteroid is supposed to hit. I also have an ARC copy of All Fall Down by Ali Carter, who is the author of the Gallagher Girls and High Society series, which I have not read, but I've heard quite positive things about. So from what I can tell, this is about a girl named Grace Blakely, and I think her mother dies, and Grace believes that her mother was murdered, but nobody else thinks so. They don't believe her. This sounds like it could be quite interesting, the character taking on a kind of detective role in this whole situation, so yeah. Looks pretty good. I also received The Flywheel by Erin Goff, and this was one of the authors that was on one of the panels that I went and saw at Sydney Writers Festival. It was called Keeping It Real, and it was about issues in teen fiction. So Erin was on the panel alongside Laurie Halse Anderson and Melina Marchetta, and also Barry Johnsberg. It was a really wonderful panel, and I'm very excited that I have a copy of this book. This is a contemporary novel with a lesbian main character. Her name is Dell, and she pretty much becomes a school punchline after some misjudged crush on one of the popular girls. And the synopsis has me very curious because it also says, is it okay to break the law to help a friend? How can a girl tell another girl she likes her without it ending in humiliation and heartbreak? And the big one, is it ever truly possible to dance in public without falling over? So this sounds like it could be quite a funny yet heartwarming story, and I'm really excited about it. I also have an ARC copy of Dumplin' by Julie Murphy. This is about Willow Dean Dixon, a self-proclaimed fat girl, but she's really comfortable in her own skin. But then she meets this guy, and he seems to like her back, and she starts to have a few doubts about herself, so she decides to enter into the Miss Clover City beauty pageant. I have a feeling that this will be a really funny story, a really awesome story. I'm excited about it. It looks good. And the last book that I have is The Astrologer's Daughter by Rebecca Lim. This one is about a main character called Avicenna, I think that might be how you pronounce it, and her mother, Joanne, is an astrologer, and she has this ability to predict things from the stars, and she has a bit of a history of being stalked as well. So when she goes missing, Avicenna is a little bit worried, and she seems to have inherited her mother's ability to kind of predict things, but then she uncovers some link between her mother's disappearance and a murder, so it sounds like things could get pretty interesting. Anyway, that is it. That is what I received during the month of May. A wonderfully big haul. I don't even know where I'm gonna find place on my bookshelf. It's pretty full. It's pretty full at the moment. I have double stacked it, but most of the books are on show. This is a new bookshelf, by the way. I'm in a new place as well. Usually I'm filming over next to my bed over there, but I've got 2 bookshelves now. So this is where I'm gonna be from now on. I don't know why I bothered telling you that, but you know, whatever. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you've read any of the books that I showed you today, I would love to hear your thoughts on them down in the comment section below. I've got links down below also to where you can pick these up if you are interested, but yeah, that's about it. So I will see you guys next time. Bye!